is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
Welcome to Houston Newsmakers in this week's lead-off discussion about politics and the pandemic. At what point will politics, the almost hand-to-hand combat type of politics, take a backseat to the need for unity in overcoming the impact of COVID-19 on this nation? How many people will have to die before the political parties in this country can give more than lip service to the word bipartisan? I don't have the answers to that. My job is to ask questions of all sides in the hopes of getting to the answer. I talk to Republicans and Democrats on this program, as you know. Many of them work hard, and many times genuinely so, on the needs of their constituents. But beneath it all, in the words spoken in microphones across the country and in press releases sent out from political offices across the land, the language is often accusatory, demeaning, offhanded, and ultimately aimed at the hardcore supporters of the office holder. It's been that way for quite some time. But during a pandemic, you'd think the rancor would ease some. How should we navigate the disparaging words we hear from both sides? University of Houston political science professor Dr. Brandon Rottinghaus specializes in presidential and Texas politics. Good morning. Good to see you, Dr. Rottinghaus.
Good morning.
What's your observation on the kind of role that party politics is playing in this pandemic?
Well, it's clearly partisan. It's too much partisanship. That partisanship is driving a wedge between people, and that's par for the course in a presidential election year. But the fact that this is happening during a pandemic is complicated, and it limits our ability to be able to come together as a nation and to fight this unseen foe. During times of war, there tends to be these rally moments where people get together and decide that there's a common good and a strategy that we can collectively agree on. But during this moment, we aren't doing that, and it's clearly limiting our ability to fight the virus.
When you have different members of different parties giving different messages, the outcome can often be confusion, correct?
That's right, and what we see happening is kind of an extension of what happens during the regular politics as usual, and that is that people are getting different information from different sources. Those sources tend to be slanted one way or the other. That's creating all kinds of different problems, but the biggest problem it's creating right now is that it's giving people different messages about how severe the virus is. So not surprisingly, we're getting a different outcome in terms of people's preferences to stay at home and to flatten the curve or to wear a mask in public. The different messages that are being sent by these different outlets are clearly creating a bifurcated sort of health outcome. And that's complicated for us to sort of move through and try to combat this pandemic.
You know, some background might be needed here. You've studied presidents. That's what you've done. Read some of your work, and it's really impressive how deep you go. In your work, have you seen any presidents who have been able to upset the norms like President Trump has been able to do up to this point?
Yeah. There have been very few who can do what Donald Trump has done, and we'd have to look to the pre-television era for that to happen. I would say Andrew Jackson is one of those great disruptors who really unbalanced the party system and really became a kind of personification of the presidency. So that's really the last time we've seen such a traumatic upheaval. This isn't something we normally see in American politics. Like you said, since basically the 1960s, we haven't seen this kind of level of partisan rancor, and before that, the 1860s. So it's a rare event, and this is an opportunity for presidents to be able to unify the country. Commanders-in-chief are often comforters-in-chief, and the goal is to be able to bring people together in a crisis because that's whom people look to. But in this moment, we haven't seen that, and it's clearly limiting our ability to come back together.
You know, the nastiness between the highest levels of government seem to be the definition of dysfunctional. Case in point, I've got to set up a piece here, a little soundbite here. Nancy Pelosi responding to the president's announcement that he was taking the non-FDA approved drug hydroxychloroquine as a preventative measure against COVID-19. Listen.
I would rather he not be taking something that has not been approved by the scientist, especially in his age group and in his, shall we say, weight group, what is morbidly obese.
Oh, I don't respond to her. I think she's a waste of time. Pelosi is a sick woman. She's got a lot of problems, a lot of mental problems.
I didn't know that he would be so sensitive. He's always talking about other people's avoirdupois, their weight, their pounds.
That soundbite kind of tells you all you need to know about the discord that happens when the leaders of the party and the branches of our government are like that. What kind of optimism, what kind of positive feeling can we have as the people who are looking to them for leadership about how we can proceed?
Yeah, one thing we know from decades of research in political science is that people respond to elite messages. And if elite messages are polarizing us, then we'll be polarized. If elite messages aren't giving us a consistent message about how to treat this pandemic with respect to our own health, then we're going to get this bifurcated outcome we see. And that's going to complicate our ability to follow health guidelines or to pursue sort of a common set of medical recommendations. And that's going to hurt our ability to recover economically. So these things are all connected together. But politically speaking, what these agents want to do, what these elites want to do, is to keep voters angry, because angry voters leads to loyal voters. And as a result, that's really what we're going to see in this next election, is a base versus base election.
And this whole thing, we talk about the election being a part of this. Right after President Obama got into office, there was this push by the Republican Party to make sure that he was a one-term president. And it seems like the level of divisiveness kind of rose during that period of time, and it's gotten bigger now because, as you talked about, President Trump has been effective in using the divisiveness as a tool to be able to be successful. And so now in an election year, how difficult is that in terms of providing any kind of stability for our country if it stays as divisive as it is now?
It's really nearly impossible. It's difficult to get people to see the other side, and partly because we don't teach people to do that. What we do is we teach people to be combative. We teach politics in a way that means that it's about us versus them, and that's the way cable news, designs it. That's the way that sort of the party system is organized. So it's not surprising that's true, but there are ways we can reduce that temperature. The goal is to have people read more different types of politics, right? Read more outlets, because that's going to give you a bigger perspective.
Yeah.
Talk to people. Don't just talk to elites, because people are individuals and they have a point of view, and you might like that point of view and you might come to appreciate it. So there are ways to reduce that, but in election year, it's really tough.
Yeah, you're like I am. I posted something on a Facebook page last week asking if we needed to put graduation speeches in the same category of politics and religion as not to talk about. That's after President Obama made some comments, and you would not believe the response I get. So your advice is like my advice. Everybody needs to read more across the board to get their information and not rely on one source.
Yeah, and no more sound bites, right? I mean, looking at the bigger picture, looking at full speeches, actually reading things, it's hard for people to do because we live in a world where, politics is sort of a bumper sticker, but it's important for people to really kind of grasp that and really kind of think it through, because it might be that you gain some perspective on somebody else's opinion, and that's what leads to a kind of, healing of that partisan divide. And
wouldn't that be nice, huh? Professor Ridinghouse, thank you for your insights. Always a pleasure to talk to you. I look forward to talking to you again as we get closer to the elections. Thank you again.
Me too, thank you.
Appreciate it.